It is a Friday night, 2 days before the solar eclipse. Taking a full night flight up to Auburn today from Oakland. That'll be a good little preview of a dark sky, because the moon is definitely not going to be out tonight. All right, so the same principles for daytime apply to nighttime. Let's get the ATIS.
0. Visibility 10. View clouds at 1000. Temperature 16, 2.15. Altimeter 2995. ILS and visual approach. Runway 3028 right. Runway 29 appears on chart, but is inactive. Caution, birds near airport. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Papa.
Papa, okay.
Oakland Airport ATIS information, Papa. 03530. Wind 290 at 10. Visibility 10. View clouds at 1000. Temperature 16, 2.15. Altimeter 2995.
All right, we got that. So at nighttime, the frequencies could be different. There's people doing multiples. Oakland ground, Twin Cessna 3318Q VFR request. Let's see what who's on.
Cessna 3318Q, Oakland ground, go ahead.
Good evening, Twin Cessna 320 slant India, November 331 in Quebec. At the new T's with Papa, we'd like runway 33 VFR to Auburn. I'm all lit up front. Landing lights.
Cessna 3318 Quebec, maintain VFR at or below 2,500. Squawk 4256, runway 33, taxi via Delta Juliet.
Quebec 2,500, 4256 on the squawk, taxi to 3318 Quebec. 4256, quickest squawk I ever got. Anyway, so inside the panel, you want to keep the lights as dim as you can so you have better outside vision. I have what you see there, and then I have this to light up the inside. I got flashlights all over the place. In my pocket, I got them hanging up on the side here. So you do the checklist, everything's the same as daytime, and we are going to have a dark flight. So I think what I'll do is I might move the camera out to the front window after we get going a while, so you can see the approach, and you can see the approach into Auburn. So I'll be back on with the checklist being completed. All right, the all-important checklist is complete, and here I have the red lens, red flashlight for looking at the gauges. Keeps you from losing your night vision. All right, let's call up tower. Tower, Twin Cessna 3318Q, runway 33, ready for takeoff. I also have a light under the yoke here that I use. I don't know if you can see it here or not.
Twin Cessna 3318 Quebec, Oakland Tower, runway 33, clear for takeoff, make a right crosswind departure north of Lake Chabot, heading no greater than 080.
Yeah, when in Quebec, the on-course heading will be 020 tonight. You think so?
When I Quebec, enable the on-course heading. You can expect the vectors from NorCal 1U when I hand you off to them. For now, it'll be north of Lake Chabot. They'll get you turned southbound.
Okay, north of Lake Chabot would be 020. Southbound would be greater than 080.
Oh, when I Quebec, sorry about that. That is correct. No heading, any heading no greater than 080.
When in Quebec, roger. And we're clear for takeoff 33 on the roll. When in Quebec, thanks. All right, so a little confusion there. All right, so fuel pumps on. Everything looks good, sounds good, and we go. And we're looking for the usual 100 on the airspeed. 60, 70, 80. There's 90 red line, there's 100. Pull it off the runway. Let's put the landing lights up. And tap the brakes, pull the gear up. It's dark. All right, we're climbing out of blue line. little bit of a cloud deck here coming in. We're just going to jump on top of it real fast. We're going to keep the climb going. Turn off the taxi light.
Twin Cessna 1 Quebec radar contact, say altitude.
1 Quebec just passing through 1,000 now. There's my 1,000 AGL. Bring the power back 29 inches of manifold pressure. Oh, it's dark. This will be like the Eclipse darkness. Manifold pumps back, and one at a time we take off the fuel pumps, engines still run, and we set up. Probably can't see it in the picture, but there's a cloud deck right below us. I'm on top of it. All right, let's set the fuel. Okay, we're on top now. Oh, it's dark. Wow, this is what the Eclipse is going to be like. It's going to be creepy. Creepy. All right, I should get a handoff. I don't know what frequency.
November 1 Quebec, contact NorCal approach on 135.1. Good night.
45-1 for 1 Quebec. Good night. Thank you. Okay.
There's the I-9, 56 kilo. November 56 kilo, radar contact 2 miles southeast Half Moon Bay Airport, climb, maintain 5,000. Up to 5,000, 56 kilo.
SoCal, good evening, Twin Cessna 331 Quebec, checking in, restricted 2,500.
Number 3318 Quebec, NorCal approach, roger, cleared in the class Bravo, say altitude requesting.
1 Quebec, 3,500 will work for the Bravo today.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so we got clearance in the Bravo.
Center 125.85, good night.
12585, address 5.
It is black outside. So I'm going to get us up to 3,500. I'm going to put the autopilot on. This is a good time of use of the autopilot. Perfect on heading course. And then I want to show you some of the interior lighting. Well, you can see a lot of things you don't see inside blinking. Okay, so here's the autopilot. Now see, I don't have lights on the autopilot, so here's my red light. I'm looking down. Okay, that's where it should be. Fine. Now we're set up. So what you want to do is you want to keep your lights as dim as you can get away with. So I'm going to cover for a second. So that's too bright, and that's off. That's no good. So you just have this kind of a dim light. This side here, same thing. You have your red lights for your gauges down below, and then the compass light is there, right here in the camera, but we're not going to use that. And we're 3,500, and we're skimming along quite well. So I think I'll move the camera to the front window. Not much to see, but when we do get to see something, I'll put her on. Okay, we're back on the camera, and that blackness you see out there is just to the north of Antioch, Pittsburgh area. It's the Shiloh wind farms, if you can see the red flashing lights. Probably not. We were handed off to Travis approach, 119.9er. It's black as night out here without that moon. It is dark. But I'm doing fine with the instruments. I can see them fine. So, no need to...
Travis, we're established inbound to County Canfield 311.
Red 311, roger, radar service terminated. Change to advisory frequency for Squawk VFR.
Squawk VFR, change to advisory. Have a good night. Thank you very much. 311.
No need to videotape this blackness here. So I'm going to turn the camera off and pick it up when you get to Sacramento. You'll be able to see something then.
November 18 Quebec contact, northward approach 125.25.
1 Quebec 125.25 now, thanks, and so on. Well, before I switch, I'm finding out one thing in my panel. I got crappy lighting. A lot of the little pop-up red lights that are supposed to light the inference up aren't so great. Oh, let's check in. SoCal, good evening. Twin Cessna 33, 1 Quebec, checking in level 3,500.
November 3318 Quebec, NorCal approach, Sacramento altimeter 29884.
1 Quebec, roger. Alright, so I'm using Auburn's altimeter, whatever it was. You put the red light on. It was 299 or 2 or something. Anyway, I got the weather off camera for Auburn. Wind was 110 at 7, which is, let's hear it again.
3,000 feet.
Here it comes.
Auburn Municipal Airport, automated weather observation 0512 Zulu weather. Wind 120 at 3 knots. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition clear below 12,000 feet. Temperature 25 Celsius. 2.22 Celsius. Altimeter 2,994 inches of mercury. Remarks. Density altitude 3,068
NorCal approach. Expect the visual approach runway 16 left. Bravo current.
Alright, 299 or 4. And we'll use runway 7. You should be starting to pick up the city lights.
Have the 5373 NorCal approach. Expect the visual approach runway 16 left.
Sacramento Executive Airport, I can see the runway and the beacon. It's about in the camera. I can't point to it because you won't see my finger, but it's about 12:30, 1 o'clock there. I can make that out. Things look so much different. You know, the highways are big lit up lines, and the clumps of housing developments. We got a good temperature inversion up here. I got the air going, but it's really warm. Let me put my red flashlight. Yeah, it's coming up on...
Papa 6168.
Pretty hot. 30-something
speeds on the arrival.
Celsius. Anyway, it feels warm.
Papa 5373 as well. Disregard speeds on the arrival.
So like I say, nighttime is a whole different ball game. The different controllers or different frequencies are doing multiple ones. So maybe you can see SAC Executive now right down below to the right a little bit. And then let's see what else. You can usually pick out hospitals, and they have the beacon, the 3 beacons for the helicopters. The Tulane Air Base will be, airport will be to the left as we go. So that's Fruit Ridge Road running next to it. And straight ahead, way out in the camera, is Highway 80. You'll be able to see that. Very, very beautiful to fly at night. Especially in a twin. In a single, you try not to think about it too much, because if you're up here, that's one of my personal rules, is not to fly a single engine airplane at night, because if something goes wrong with that one engine, you're having to find a place to land. And when we used to fly single engine night, you know, we would try to do our routes kind of airport to airport to airport, you know, from the sky, in case you had to put it down. You were, you know, pretty close to an airport. So I'm looking at the GPS here. That was blocked. We're doing 187 knots across the ground. 32 miles away. We're 10 minutes out. I'll be editing out some of the dead portions. Highways look very busy, even 10 o'clock at night here. So this is the area below us, I think the Cal Expo area. because it's not lit up. I don't think it's the American River Parkway. That I can see the river here to the right. So you can see Highway 80 now. I'll just put it right in the middle of the picture here. A lot of cars on it, both directions. There's McClellan Air Force Base. Let me just turn the plane towards the airfield. You can see what it looks like at night. I'm going to put it right in the center there. I'll put the nose down a little bit. So there's McClellan. And you can see the void right in the middle where there's no lights. That's the runway. So I've been thinking more about the Eclipse. And I think I'll probably be at high altitude. I'm going to err on the side of having a lot of planes up in the air. So we might even go up 14,000, 15,000, put on some oxygen. That way I know that I won't be running into other pilots. And I think we'll get a better view of the Eclipse. You know, you can get a lot of videos and shots of the actual Eclipse really close up. You know, my cameras aren't set up for that, but I am going to try to get the effect over the terrain and when you're in the plane and having it get dark and all that. As far as focusing in on the sun itself, or the Eclipse itself, I'm going to try to use my Nikon and capture some of those and insert those in, and you know what? It could just be a one big dud, too. It could be a little fizzle. It's like a friend of mine was in the Navy, and at a men's club presentation, he brought his home movies. He was working on the ship that brought in the capsule from one of the Apollo missions. And he had it wasn't videotape, it was like 16 millimeter or Super 8 maybe, but he had the film of them rehearsing it and coming out of the helicopter and shaking hands. And then when it came to the real deal, it went by like a blink of an eye, and he was miles away, and he was having to point out the specks in the sky that was the helicopter going after the capsule. It was funny because it was all about the prep and none of the real deal. So who knows? That might be it. So let's take a look at the GPS here. We're on course, 18 miles out, only 5 minutes out from overhead. So I have started the descent a little bit. I'm going to start pulling off some power.
1-8 Quebec, radar service terminated, squad VFR, frequency change approved today.
1 Quebec going 1200, thanks, and good night. Alright, so I'm going to have to get my, put the off. Wow, there's a guy on 7. See what he's doing. Alright, so I got the thing there. Oh, inbound traffic Auburn, are you full stop tonight?
Full stop, yes.
Is that a full stop? Are you going to land on 7?
Yes. Full stop on May 7.
Okay. Alright. Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 1 Quebec is 15 out. Going to make right base for runway 7, traffic permitting, Auburn. Full stop. Okay, so now we're leaving, we just crossed over Highway 65 at Galleria, Roseville Galleria. So I think he was doing a practice approach there. So I'm going to look for the airport. I think I see the beacon. No, Auburn, at night you have pilot-controlled lighting. You use the microphone. You click the push-to-talk switch, the microphone button. So there's traffic at 1 o'clock above us. I can see the beacon, no factor. And then there's also traffic at 12 o'clock, a little higher than us.
Auburn traffic, November 521 Tango on final, runway 07, full stop, Auburn.
Oh, he's on final for 7.
And Auburn Tower, Twin Cessna, when it Quebec is 12 out, it's going to make a right base entry to runway 7, Auburn, traffic permitting.
So I say traffic permitting. If he's going to be in the pattern, then we'll go do the whole pattern and all that. So the old GUMPS, gas, undercarriage, mixture, prop, speed. So right now I've turned on the electric fuel pumps. And I'm starting to slow the plane down. So that plane is overhead Auburn, it's not landing. I'm at pattern altitude 2,500. And let's see if I got the airport in sight. Yeah, I got the beacon in sight. We can call the airport in sight. I'm going to put some props ahead. Try to slow down. I got to keep an eye on that plane straight ahead. The landing light speed is the same as the gear speed, so I can't put those down yet.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna, when it Quebec, 7 miles south, and a right base entry, runway 7, Auburn, full stop.
So that guy's just passing through. There's the beacon for Auburn, so I'll confirm that. I'm almost at my final power settings for landing. I do have the airport in sight and the runway in sight. There's just some spotted areas of light on the ground. Those are homes or maybe cars on highways. It's dark. It's really dark. Alright, there's 180 indicated. I can drop the first notch of flaps.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna, when it Quebec on a 5-mile right base, runway 7, Auburn, full stop.
Alright, so the traffic I was watching.
Auburn traffic, 14 Tango, clear the runway.
Alright, so he's clearing the runway. Alright, let's drop the gear. Okay, gas check. Undercarriage got a green. Mixture is up. Now I'm going to turn the landing lights on. I was fighting the controls here for a minute. I thought maybe I had a split flap condition, but I had left the autopilot on. So that's another flying at night being tired idea. Okay, let's go full flaps. We're in flap speed now.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna, when Quebec, turning final, runway 7, Auburn, full stop.
Alright, so let's get on final here. We'll see what we want to do with the runway lights. So speed's good. There they go dim. When I get on final, I'll turn them back up again. There is a VASI, or visual indicator, on this side. Alright, no traffic here. One time the deer ran across the runway, that's another story. Alright, so there's the runway straight ahead. There's dim. There's bright. Alright, there's bright runway lights. Okay, gas check, undercarriage got a green, mixers up, props up, we're full flaps. And we're good on the VASI. I got 2 white, like they say, 2 white, fly all night. Red over red, you're dead. We want white over red. 1 red, 1 white is what we want.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 1 Quebec is short final, runway 7, Auburn, full stop.
So the taxiway is all lit up in blue, not like that idiot Canadian Canada air pilot that they're making him change all the rules at San Francisco because he doesn't know how to do a visual approach. Okay, we're on slope. Look at that, wide over red. There's runway 7. And it's an uphill runway, so the runway will come up to us. All those blue lights for the taxi. Okay. One last look. The gear's down. Perfect glide slow. Perfect glide slow. Wide over red. There's runway 7. At night, you look at the end of the runway. It's going to pull up over the 7, over runway 7. And there comes the runway right up to us. And we're down. And the wife will be happy that I'm here. Okay, it's a little cooler here. It must be a temperature inversion. Alright, so we're going to get off at Charlie.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 1 Quebec cleared of runway 7, going to parking, Auburn.
So that's your night flight. There's a bright light there. So, a couple days we'll be in Oregon. Thanks for riding along.